This is Lee at Craftsman Direct, and we are in Chapel Hill and looking at a full exterior house paint, and we are also looking at repairing select points. My recommendation, if you look at that bottom piece of hardy as it intersects the roof, it's failed. So let's remove and replace that one piece of hardy. It looks like it eclipses 6 feet, so that's going to take one board. The bottom, that trim board right there, it's dark, which means there's no paint on it. I can't tell from here if there's rot, but what we might do, replace that one board and go all the way up, or obviously we can take the first foot or two and let's get Mirtec or something in there that's never going to rot for this lady. Again, you see the window. Bare wood is showing. We will have to prime the sill there where we can see bare wood. Here again, I don't believe we have an issue with rot. And there's another little piece on the bottom. That siding, remove and replace. Obviously that's going to be smooth. Beat it hardy. I haven't measured, but I'm anticipating a reveal of 7 inches. Bare wood again, that's got to be priming too, on quite a few spots, especially that bottom corner right there. While I'm at this point, let me zoom back for perspective. We've got 3 dormers across the top, and the siding on all 3, that bottom piece again, it exceeds 6 feet, so that's going to be one 12-foot section of hardy times those 3 dormers times those 2 dormers. So I'm looking at 5 pieces of hardy at least from this angle. You see the bare wood, priming 2. See the bare wood, priming 2. Okay, doesn't look like they're rotted. Let's get the other side of the dormer. We'll take a peek. All right. That guy right there on the corner. Okay. Good piece of shot right there. There's another. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That would be number 6. 12-foot length of hardy. It's a bad one there. Let's see. 7 pieces of hardy for that. If I can get an angle, I'm going right into the sun.
It
8 pieces of hardy.
Natural that, you know, I didn't see people didn't know what was happening, and then I hear like they're calling today and telling me. Well,
okay.
It just changes everything that we.
That's 9, and that second board's starting not to look real good.
Many people are getting depressed over
Right there, definitely 9, maybe 10. And as expected, it follows suit on the last dormer. That's number 11 in the corner there, and I think my focus is picking up the tree. I'm going to look. For painting purposes, let me get a good view. This house hadn't been painted in 14 years. It looks pretty good, all things considered. But got that garage. Let me back out. Nope, back out the other way. Okay. Wendell Connie Long, about the same size. I remember seeing something on the bay window. Yeah. Got a 5-foot piece here. That's on this side, on the bottom. Number 2 is pretty good. Opposite side as well, but it's still the same board.
To me, that would mean having
Right
to
here,
find
that's
it or
5 foot.
get it, so that would have stopped. Oh, okay.
Couple little pieces here. These are 3-foot sections, and we got 1 bed, 2 bed. Okay. Need to ask her about painting windows. It looks like it needs it. Obviously caulking the joints. I found one just one spindle, and it's this piece here, except it's on the opposite side over there. That was the only piece of 2x2 spindle that needed to be removed, replaced, caulked, prime and 2. Issues like this with caulking. Okay, issues. You see caulk points right there. Finger molding, which I absolutely love to deal with. All right. I've got one 6-foot board, 2 6-foot boards, and that's just started, but let's go ahead and do 3 6-foot boards because we've got a hole right here, and you got to notch that top one. Let me pan out so we can see it. All right, so that's 3 6-foot boards here. These shutters are plastic, and they can probably be washed and look fine. This window looks pretty good. That window looks pretty good. That window has no mullion. You call them mullions? There's another word for it. What is that word? Notice how dark the gutter is. Pressure wash to clean that. You're going to have to put direct sodium hypochlorite at 6%. Leave it on as long as you can. And rinse it well. Alright, we've got some issues here. We got a 3-foot. We got a 3-foot here. Alright, coming off of that gutter. Look at that guy right there. Okay. Pull the gutter away.
So he comes home and we've been playing lots of bridge. We usually do a rubber.
On the middle section of this window. I'll give you a big picture. Then, here,
all that I've ever been about.
that one piece. This wood lets Bondo that little hole right there and not get that wood involved. Again, same piece. Caulk will solve that. Well, okay, there's a 1x10 to replace. That's 2-foot that broke. Again, we got caulking. This side looks better. Caulking, and this is that hard masonite. Somebody can please explain why they did this. Look at that. A hole in the house, no caulk, no flashing, no nothing. They notched out for the gutter, and it's open for the elements, and for some reason it has not failed. Go figure. But the other side, that's pretty bad. Alright, I'm seeing right there. It is that piece. I can get my finger involved in it. No, maybe not. Okay. 2-foot piece at the bottom of the soffit. It's that piece that touches the gutter, and also that piece on top of the gutter. They all look bad. Oh man, okay. Alright, now we're getting more story. Look on top of the roof line. 1, 2, 3. But those are short pieces because it intersects the other roof line. So I would bring one 12-foot piece of hardy for that section there. Let's turn the corner. Trim boards are fine. Caulking issues on that corner. Let me pan back so we can get a visual of the size. We can count siding boards to get a height. And that's what the house looks like. Alright. Okay. I'm looking for rot, and I'm not finding, well, any. I'm finding ugly, I'm not finding rot. Notice the great stuff insulation, and if it's working, I got no problem with it. Irregularity, but no rot. All the way up. Irregularities and no rots. Chimney is definitely moving. Notice the old caulk line is pitching out, and if they're okay with it, I'm okay with it. But we got to shoot caulk in that guy so that the house will stay airtight. Anyhow, give you length, pacing, 3 foot times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 18 feet to the chimney, 5 feet after the chimney. Paint the scuttle door, and here again, notice the line. They got clear caulk in there. We got to remove it, replace it, and let's use that $7 a tube, oh my God stuff that's not supposed to ever fail until the bombs start going back and forth. Save that chimney. Notice the hole right there at the peak of the soffit. Great stuff, might be a good thing. Oh, there's a rot. I see one board right there. 1 5-foot piece. Janus, depending upon really what you want. A conservative approach is let's get some paint on it and watch it. You really only have that one board, if I can find it. There. The other ones look kind of like that, and I will say they're getting there, but they're not there yet. Preventative maintenance. If it was my house, I would paint over stuff like this and save the money for the repair, and start to think about doing sections of this house. There's a good chance you won't ever have to. This masonite's hard as rock. It's holding up great. Alright, let's look at the rear. Get a perspective. Oh my God. Look at that. That's a lake. Full of water. Wet water. Okay, there's the house. I need to leave the lake alone. Okay. Nothing real high. 24-foot ladders. See if I can get a zoom on the plumbing boots. That's one of the places that water enters, and it's a bad surprise when it starts to come in the house because you notice ceilings that don't like it. So using the camera and the zoom on the computer without actually having to go, they don't look bad, they don't look new. Alright, where's the other one? There he is. Alright, take a peek at that guy on the computer zoom. Rot issue here, and that's a bad spot. Rubber caulk in there. Well, that's not too bad. Oops. Okay, the way they built this deck is that this is a pier and it's also a post. So we would have to change the deck configuration. Maybe we can get a tool in there and dig them out. But he really needs to come out and be replaced. That's going to be a booger. Can I say booger? Bunch of caulk up in there, but that's why we build decks like we do. All these windows are metal encased. Spindles are good, believe it or not. They're firm. How about that one? That one's firm too. There's a lot of truth to the theory they don't make wood like they used to. These folks at NC State are engineering wood to grow so fast, it's so soft that you know, it just doesn't hold up like the wood that's on this house somewhere in Chapel Hill. If I was rotted, I would be you, and I'm not. Okay. I would definitely recommend a clean using a diluted sodium hypochlorite solution. Seal, color of your choice. I would prefer Cabot's, but all possible. That siding doesn't look good, but it doesn't look rotted. That threshold is, there's a piece of siding there. And if you're doing that one, I would do this one because it's gone. That's got a hole in it and water's getting in there. Houses don't like things piled up against it, I would think, if that's been there any time, but it doesn't look like it has. Good siding. There's a flat missing here, thus the bird's nest. And bad thing about bird's nest is that's where they poop too, and it starts to get stinky. So if you'd like, we can put in a new vent duct that's got a flap that stops that kind of thing. The siding here is gone, but it looks like there's been a method of applying paint to save it. I'm fine with that if you want us to continue, but it's starting to get worse. I think what we're looking at is a part of the house where that was away from the wall a whole bunch, and but this side doesn't get as much sunlight. Anyhow, they've got some hardy down here already. The bottom piece, as you can see, it looks like a primer coat, and then that piece starts to masonite. Bay window, I don't see anything bad in here again. That's got to be hardy plank. To have it that far away from the house, that open and not rotted. That's crazy. It's got to be hardy plank. Take a look at the rest of that deck. Window painting. Paint strip and tip. That blue one is what I've got. And priming too. Probably that whole railing. Deck width 1, 2, 3, 12 feet. Length 1, 2, 3, 33 long, which I think is my jacket size. It's another vent, peeking open a little bit. I think those are $10 at Home Depot. And bottom piece of siding has failed. That piece should go all the way from the door back. I think that can be done in 12 feet. Very close. I think that is a 12-foot section. Alright, soffit looks good. What else do we need to see here? Anybody? Remove and replace that threshold. I think we discussed that. Exterior 36-inch door. Note in the quote about the deck, there is no lattice. Would like to do the exterior of this to make it pretty. These are some nice people. These windows, well, the only metal ones are on the back. Those 3 windows up top side have to be painted. So back here I've got that double window. Let me get closer. Alright, that double window, second double window, a single, a single, a single, and all of that bank right there, that 1, 2, 3 bank of 2 doubles and a French door. I think all that's metal. That bay window has to be painted. Mullions are all interior, and I am correct, this is metal. Okay. Alright. Alright, this piece looks good. This is what beginning looks like. It's starting to get some lines in it. Cracking. Get some paint and caulk in there. And back here, it looks good. On this back quarter, that's a 4.5 inch trim board, and the siding, I would take the trim board up through the first or second siding board and cut across that bottom piece of siding, obviously, and I would do the second one as well. And if it's easy, the third or fourth. I mean, you know, just run out a 12-foot board. But, you know, critically, it's the bottom, wait a minute, the bottom 1 or 2 boards. The other side does not look as bad. And there's the other side. I'll back up. Let's get a big picture. Okay. Here we go. That's the house. Pretty asphalt shingles. Garage points. No rot on the bottom, but I see bare wood. And the caps. And those guys there with their caps. Okay. I think that's it. I'm gonna back up. Let's take a look. Okay. That's gonna be tough to paint. Getting to that peak, because that's a sharp garage roof line, and then you got a ladder. It's got to go from the garage all the way up to the top of that guy. Anyhow, there we go. Craftsman Direct in Chapel Hill, North Carolina. The day before we, well, not quite this year, the day before we give our money to Uncle Sam. It's the 18th.